Have you ever wondered why certain faces are considered more attractive than others? Well, it turns out that symmetry plays a significant role in our perception of beauty. In this discussion, we'll explore 4 studies that delve into the symmetry bias and its impact on our judgments of attractiveness, health, and personality. So let's dive in and see what these studies reveal about the way we perceive beauty. Hey rational rebels! Welcome to the arena of reason, where we train our minds to spot cognitive pitfalls. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, and today's episode uncovers the intriguing concept of symmetry bias, a captivating phenomenon that can dramatically shape your perceptions and reshape the way you judge the world around you. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date on all our latest episodes. And if you find our content valuable, please consider donating through the PayPal link in the description. Thanks for listening, and let's go. The first study, The Beauty Bias, Symmetry Preferences in Attractiveness Judgments, by Langlois et al., investigated the relationship between facial symmetry and judgments of physical attractiveness. The results showed that faces that were more symmetrical were rated as more attractive. You might be surprised to know that even small variations in facial symmetry can have a substantial impact on how attractive we perceive someone to be. This finding suggests that when you're assessing someone's attractiveness, you might be unconsciously influenced by the symmetry of their facial features. The second study, Facial Symmetry and Judgments of Attractiveness, Health, and Personality, by Grammar Thornhill, took a deeper look into the relationship between facial symmetry and judgments of physical attractiveness, health, and personality. The results showed that faces that were more symmetrical were not only rated as more attractive but also perceived as healthier and having a more positive personality. This study demonstrates that the symmetry bias goes beyond just attractiveness and that it is also influencing how you perceive someone's overall health and character. Imagine you're meeting someone new, and their face is quite symmetrical. Without even realizing it, you assume that they're healthier and have a more pleasant personality, just based on their facial symmetry. The study showed that this unconscious bias impacts your interactions with others and shape your impressions of them, often without you even being aware of it. The third study, Symmetry and Attractiveness, a meta-analytic review, by Jones et al., conducted a meta-analysis of previous research on symmetry and attractiveness. The results showed a strong and consistent relationship between facial symmetry and judgments of physical attractiveness. This finding reinforces the idea that the symmetry bias is deeply ingrained in our perceptions of beauty. When you find someone attractive, there's a good chance that their facial symmetry is playing a significant role in your judgment. Finally, the study, The Role of Facial Symmetry in Beauty Perception, a Review and a New Perspective, by Rhodes et al., conducted a review of previous research on facial symmetry and beauty perception. The results showed a consistent relationship between facial symmetry and judgments of physical attractiveness, and suggested that symmetry also serve as a cue for health and fitness. This finding implies that the symmetry bias might have evolutionary roots, as individuals with symmetrical faces could be seen as healthier and more fit, making them more desirable mates. Now that you're aware of the symmetry bias, you might start to notice it in various aspects of your life. For example, when you're watching a movie or browsing through a magazine, pay attention to the facial symmetry of the actors and models featured. You might find that those with more symmetrical faces are often considered more attractive and are more prominently featured. As you learn more about the symmetry bias, you might start to notice these biases in your daily life. For instance, when you're scrolling through social media or attending a social event, observe if you're unconsciously drawn to people with more symmetrical faces. By becoming more aware of this bias, you can begin to challenge your preconceived notions about beauty and attractiveness. In conclusion, these 4 studies provide compelling evidence of the pervasive nature of the symmetry bias in our judgments of attractiveness, health, and personality. By understanding the impact of this phenomenon, you can become more aware of your own biases and work towards making more objective judgments about others.